Salutations everyone, this is Razor here bringing you another Emblem tutorial as I do every single Sunday, and what today we have to tackle here is Simon's Cat. Simon's Cat, for those of you who do not know, is one of the most amazingly funny YouTube channels out there right now. Been posting great content, Mr. Simon, a number of years now. Just drawing stuff that his cat does with a little bit of personification here and there, and it's absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen him, check it out. Put his channel in the link below in the description. If you're on a cell phone or something, just type in his cat. You will not be sorry because it is fantastic content. I know a lot of people have seen. I mean, there's plenty of cat stuff out there on the internet. I mean. It seems like at times that 60% of internet is cats or cat related, because cats are fucking funny and they're cute and and they do crazy funny stuff. And we've seen a lot of people try to tackle cats and funny things that they do in a realistic sense, something that we can all relate to with shared experiences with cats. With it would be like your Sunday comic edition of the newspaper, or a funny drawing or sequence of panels that you see online. But Simon's cat animation, really awesome, very charming, and he really nails it home. You can tell this dude has had cats, and we can all relate. Every single episode of Simon's Cat is something that we can all relate to. If you've ever had a cat, the way that they act, the way that they think. And it's just so fucking funny. It's so funny. I remember when Catman Do, the very first Simon's Cat video came out. So I was like, this is the best thing ever on the internet. I need more of these. And Simon has created so many awesome videos for us. He passed 1 million subs a couple months ago, and then he passed 2 million subs like a month ago. So his channel is going crazy fast. Whenever you got something like cats, it's universal. There's no language barrier at all. There's pretty much no talking whatsoever. So, it's funny for everyone around the world, because who doesn't love cats? And everyone can relate to this because cats are going to do the same shit no matter where you are across the globe. So that's another really cool thing that makes it so great, is that it's universally funny. There's nothing that can be lost through translations of cultural differences or language or anything like that. So very cool, very awesome, very, very funny series. And Simon's Cat is the main guy. That's just his name, Simon's Cat. He's the cat, and this is what his logo looks like for his YouTube channel. And as far as the logo goes, it's not too complicated. There's definitely a few different ways you can go about it, unlike some emblems where you really have to follow it verbatim to get it right. With you have to use this certain shape and deform it this kind of a thing. This logo gives you a little bit of freedom. So if you want to do it in a different sequence, or you can't get the shape right, there is some room for artistic changes to be made. But the basic principles are there. I mean, you got the red circle. You could make it a rectangle to get the bottom portion of the cat a little simpler if you're having struggle with that, to round it out at the end of the tutorial. You'll see. If you're struggling with that, don't bother making it a circle. You can just leave it as a square, and it'll be much easier. You don't have to use as much layers. Gives you room for error in other parts. But basically, you're just getting the outline. You want to, of course, make sure the thickness of the outline is congruent throughout the entire emblem. Otherwise, it looks a little funky if it's thicker and thinner in some portions. You want to make it look neat, and this emblem doesn't need to be perfect. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. So there's no reason to not have it nice and clean and looking good. And it's not that difficult as far as Simon's Cat goes. I mean, just follow the steps, or look at a picture, some source material. It's very, very easy. It's kind of hard to screw up. just the basic shape here. Doing the full body of the cat isn't a feasible option with the limited amount of layers that we have, and the fact that in Simon's cat, it isn't just like a rounded out paw. He's got, all of his fingers out there, all of his digits, if you will. So that's not something that was feasible to do. So I decided to go with his YouTube logo, which looks pretty nice. Everyone will recognize it, and it looks good. It looks good. It looks nice and clean. You can definitely tell that it's Simon's cat, and it isn't hard to get that look with other, trademark signature characters. You kind of have to get it just right, like in, I don't know, my Rooster Teeth animated guys, or like Catbug or something. Simon's cat is, of course, it's a hand-drawn guy at his computer, so the cat's going to look a little different, in every other shot. So, there's a little bit of room for error here, and it'll still look like Simon's cat. But, follow the steps, of course, as close as you can. It's pretty simple. Only takes about 20 minutes to do it right. I mean, if you're doing it on the first try. I guess if you're following this tutorial, you might be able to knock it down in 15, 16 minutes. I don't know. Because I do these things on the fly. I hadn't practiced them. I'm just doing it through a first shot, which is frustrating after you try and fail a couple of times. But I got this one right. It looks very good. The emblem, like I said, it's pretty simple. You're just doing, once again, another outline thing, so you can just fill in the gaps with whites. You don't have to worry about any fancy colors or any super fancy deformations. Like I said, there's many different layers for you to play with if you so choose to do so. And it's not that complicated. It just takes a little bit of time, and pretty much all the layers, I mean, if you are really maximizing your layers, maybe you get a couple left over, but there's really nothing left to do because it's absolutely perfect as it is when I get to the final product. So you just want to get the outline right, fill it in, be sure to get the your layering correctly so you don't, paste over another layer. You just move them back and forth to get the right effect that you need, which is, pretty simple. And you'll have the basic shape of the logo there. So I'm going to be going step by step through every single layer now, and decide to go with the Feed Greed title once again. That title's just so good for so many emblems. And Simon's cat's signature characteristic is he loves to eat, and loves to ask his owner Simon for food at the end of almost every episode, and it's fucking funny every time, I gotta say. So hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out Simon's cat channel below if you haven't, or if you haven't in a while. Go ahead and check out. He has a video that came out just a week or so ago. And be sure to leave comments of what you would like to see me do next, and I'll try to tackle those, and I will see you next time.